Hello everyone, welcome to the Comic Gamer Movie Show. My name's Deshaun and here I am here to give my thoughts on the Wonder Woman 84 trailer. Well, Wonder Woman 1984, but whatever. Wonder Woman 84 trailer. It just came out. Actually, it just came out maybe 30 minutes ago? An hour ago? Hour to 30 minutes ago upon my recording is when it just came out. I just took a look at it and I have to say, it looks fun. It does. It looks very fun. But I didn't think the other Wonder Woman trailers looked bad. Honestly, DC puts together great trailers. I still think the Suicide Squad trailer was one of the best trailers I've ever seen in my life. The one with the Bohemian Rhapsody, it was fucking amazing. I was jacked for that movie. And I thought the Wonder Woman trailers were fun and cool too. I even thought that the first BVS teaser trailer I thought was amazing. It was epic. It had this feel to it. But in this trailer is it's fun too. Honestly, it's fun. It's colorful. It has a great 80s soundtrack. It's real 80s because it takes place in 84 and they're really playing that up. It has a bit of authority, to me anyways, because I recently saw Thor Ragnarok, because it's probably the most colorful DC film I've seen in a while. In terms of the color, her colors are popping. Because in the first Wonder Woman, she was, in red and, red. She got the red and the blue, but it won't popping like it is in this. It's popping. All the colors are popping. It's it threw me off for a second there because I'm used to that DC darker filter. But I should have known because the colors in Aquaman were pretty popping as well. And the colors in Shazam weren't quite as popping as the colors in Aquaman in this trailer. But the colors were popping. It seems like a lot of the more, the DC movies, there are a lot of DC movies that they're starting to lean into the more popping colors. They're going away from the muted colors that they were that they might have been thinking about going for. They're going with the more popping colors, the popping greens and Aquaman and the popping red and Shazam's outfit and Wonder Woman's outfit is really popping. But there wasn't a lot in story. It was just a lot of visuals, a great 80s sound, a great 80s song. I can't remember what the name of the song is, but I remember I've heard this song multiple times. I heard it in literally heard it in Atomic Blonde not that long ago. But anywho, it seems like Diana's in a place right now where she's where she's having a hard time finding connections with people because she lives forever. At least that's what I got from the dialogue at the beginning of the trailer. They introduced Kristen Wiig's character. Obviously, it seems like they're going for the idea of them being friends. Something's going to happen. Obviously, something's going to happen that eventually pushes Kristen Wiig's character to, how should I say it, to turn. And honestly, because there's only a couple shots you really get of Kristen Wiig's character. The vibe I'm getting here is because she looks really nerdy and really geeky when she's hanging in that first episode, in that first scene you see her in with Diana, and the next time you see her, the last shot you see of her is in a beautiful dress and she looks dolled up and she looks like she's really confident, which looks like the opposite of what she was earlier in the movie, which really is starting to tell me is that Wonder Woman is that something's gonna happen to her and it's gonna be one of those old school 80s, 90s tropes where the pretty girl gets a makeover and she gets super confident and she's not who she's super confident now. Except I think in this case it's gonna be she's gonna get cheetah powers and she's gonna become the confident woman that she always wanted to be, or whatever, But that's what it kind of I got the vibe of. Also, you got a glimpse of Pedro Pascal's Maxwell Lord, I believe is his name. I'm not really in depth with Wonder Woman or her villains or a lot of the DC more deep cut things, but I believe his name is Maxwell Lord, and he looks like he's some kind of Walt Disney-like salesman because you just see him on the TVs talking to people, and it's really 80s, right down to the mall and how colorful the mall is and how fun the mall is. It looks like it's gonna be a fun action sequence in the mall, and it looks like it's gonna be a fun and the thing is, I don't know why, but there's something very and I don't mean this in a negative way. I mean this in a positive way. There's something cartoonish about the trailer, about the portrayal of Wonder Woman in this movie. Like her crushing the guns, her popping the bullet up and smacking the bullet, her riding lightning, and her using her tiara as a boomerang. But the way it's all done and it's so colorful, there's something cartoonish about it in a good way. There's something that just feels like a Justice League, like I'm watching an episode of Justice League. While I was watching it, I was like, there's something Justice League. It feels like a comic book panel while I'm watching this. Her crushing the guns and some of the things. Because in the other movies, because in the first movie, it felt more, I liked, actually, for all my complaints in Wonder Woman, I actually did like it when she was getting down and fighting. I actually did like it. And it just feels so jarring because I've seen her in 3 movies now. I saw her in BVS, I saw her in Wonder Woman, and I saw her in Justice League. And she was kicking ass, but she was never doing all of this stuff. She wasn't bouncing bullets out of guns and smacking them, or riding lightning, or crushing guns, or coming up on people and crushing guns, or throwing her tea out. Like, all that shit just seems so random now. I'm just like, I've never seen her do it. Not to say she can't do it. It's just what I'm aware of her. And the thing is, like, this movie alone pretty much confirms that the DCU, like, it's gone. Like, whatever continuity it had, it's gone. Because Batman said in BVS, because Batman, you know, kind of brought up in BVS and in Justice League, that Wonder Woman hasn't been seen since World War I. Or was it 2? Yeah, 1. Wonder Woman hasn't been seen since World War I, and in Justice League, he says it, like, you quit, you know, after a certain point. And by the way, she's still mourning the death of Steve Trevor, which, why would she be mourning the death of Steve Trevor if he's alive? And that is the one negative I still don't like. The fact that they're bringing back Steve Trevor. Why would you do that? Now, me and Seth, we have argued, you guys, if you've been following me long enough, you know I'm not the biggest fan of the first original Wonder Woman movie. I personally think that Chris Pine's Steve Trevor carried that movie. I think that he basically was throwing alley-hoops to her, and she basically was just catching lob passes across the middle of the paint. She did minimal. She's not a good actress. I don't think Gal Gadot's a good actress, and I think she did minimal amount of work on that movie. You know, the evidence to that is the fact that she really hasn't been cast as a lead in anything since Wonder Woman. If she's such a good actor, you know what I mean? She really hasn't. Even Tom Holland's been in a bunch of things. I mean, even Elizabeth Olsen's been in a bunch of things and been called good in a bunch of things since her superhero debut. I have not heard the same about God damn it, about Gal Gadot. I haven't really heard the same about Gal Gadot. What was she in? Keeping Up with the Joneses, where she was terrible in that. The only time I remember her being in a movie and people talking about it was when she was in Wreck-It Ralph as a side character. So I understand. So in my perspective, I completely get why they would want to bring back Steve Trevor. Obviously, you want to do that again. And it just seems like they're going to just do that again, where Steve Trevor is this emotional, you know, is carrying all the emotional weight and doing all the emotional baggage in terms of the acting, while she gets to do the hero stuff and she gets to be the superhero thing. And I'm just like, okay, so that's what we're going for. I just don't understand why they brought him back. It was such a big deal in that movie. All my complaints about the movie, I always said that if they wouldn't have introduced Ares, and they would have just let Steve Trevor go up there and die, I would have given that movie some slack. I would have given that movie a lot more slack, because I did think they did have a connection. I did think when he died, it was an impactful moment for her. I don't know what kind of message she got out of it with the whole love thing. I was like, that's not what I got out of it, but sure. Whatever you got out of it, woman. But yeah, but I thought that was an impactful thing, and for them to just bring him back in her very next movie. And you gotta understand, I know some people are gonna go, oh, well, Marvel brings people back all the time. Yes, they do bring people back, but they don't bring back people of emotional attachment to the character. Like when Bucky quote unquote died in Winter Soldier, Bucky, you know, Cap didn't see Bucky again for over 100 years. Cap didn't see Bucky. Not only did Cap not see Bucky again for over 100 years, but Bucky was brainwashed. Like, it was a terrible thing that happened to Bucky. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like he's just back. You know, Loki faked his death. Loki's a villain. You know what I mean? You know what I'm getting at here? It wasn't like bringing back Steve Trevor would be the equivalent of if Captain America, it would literally be the equivalent of if Captain America just literally just, okay, I jumped out of the plane. I didn't actually go into the plane. Like it'd be like Odin just coming back, just Thor just making Odin coming back. It'd be like if Black Widow just comes back. Like there's things that it's just like it doesn't make any sense to the story. It felt like it was an impactful thing, and for you to immediately bring the character back. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe they'll work it out. Maybe they'll figure it out. But as far as I know, because they haven't shown anything in the trailer yet to explain him coming back and what it means. But as far as I know, he is simply there to be an emotional crutch for Diana and to do what he did in the first movie, which is elevate Gal Gadot's performance because she cannot hold down that movie without him being there. And if that's the case, I'm gonna have the same reaction to this movie that I had to the first movie. Everyone's probably gonna love it, but if they just brought him back without a good reason to simply do what he did last time, which is elevate Gal Gadot to a serviceable level to the point where people think that she's as good as RDJ, which is fucking insane. We'll see. But anywho, I had fun with the trailer. There's not too much I can get into. It looks like she goes back to Themyscira at one point. It looks like she's doing some weird obstacle course in Themyscira. I don't know why she's going back to Themyscira. I'm sure they're going to get into it. She's got this weird armor on near the end. This weird, like, golden armor, which I'm just like, I mean, that must mean something to Wonder Woman fans, but, I mean, how many comic book Wonder Woman fans are there? Be honest. So, like, I don't know. So, I don't know, but, you know, it looks like she's riding lightning, and that's about all I can give you on that. There's a shot of her, like, lifting up a truck, and she's talking about lies. Nothing good comes from lies. And I'm like, Batman would beg to fucking differ. But, anywho, thank you for joining me on the Comic Game Movie Show. What did you think about the Wonder Woman 84 trailer? I had fun with it. I thought it was good. I have a couple concerns, but we'll just see when the movie comes out. It comes out in June, so we'll see. Thank you guys. You guys have a good one.